Well, what a treat to be here with Suzie Longstaff today. And Suzie, you're going to tell us a bit about what you're doing now. But the thing that I have to just comment on is that beautiful ceiling behind you. Where are you?
Well, yes, I brought you into Mayfair today, which is our grade 1 listed Eaton Square Senior School. And this is the Adams Room, which has got its newly repainted ceiling, which we painted
Beautiful.
this summer with lots of scaffolding. This building's amazing. It used to be a club, and it's actually where Ian Fleming wrote Goldfinger, and Evelyn
Really?
Waugh used to come and write as well. So, yeah,
Well,
it's
the
history. It's
inspiration.
sticking out the walls.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yeah. And so this is part of London Park Schools now, isn't it? So, which
absolutely.
is kind of new on the scene, but not on new on the scene. So, just fill us in on that.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We've got a new opportunity in education to offer a reset, and we founded London Park Schools from September of this year.
Mm,
We've got 3 schools in our group. We've got London Park School Clapham,
mm,
Eaton Square Senior, which from next September will be renamed as London Park School Mayfair,
mm,
and we have a sixth form, London Park School 6.
mm.
And the joy of that is there's 2 smaller schools for bigger thinking, no less aspirational, smaller schools which can combine for one sixth form, because we've got all the opportunity of small, nurturing, and where students are known in the smaller
Mm.
schools. But as you and I know, at sixth form, you really want to offer breadth of opportunity,
Yes.
breadth of subject
Yeah.
choice, and we
Yeah.
can do that with our one combined sixth form.
Yeah. I really like the word reset. I mean, I can't help myself. I kind of like that. It's that going forward in education, the kind of like how do we make it better? How do we do just talk a little bit about that reset.
Yeah, our reset is a breath of fresh air. And the reason it's a breath of fresh air, I mean, I've worked in London, as you know. I've been
Yes.
head of an amazing girls' school
Oh,
in
super.
Putney.
Yes.
Uh, all schools in London are getting larger and larger and more selective because the
Mm,
market
yeah.
is still overheated here, and it is causing immense amounts of stress for parents
Mm,
and for students as they go through the 11 plus and
mm,
13 plus processes. We're offering something different. We're offering
mm.
something that is really focusing on removing that stress for families. We offer a holistic education. We offer an experiential education. We also offer a reset in the way that we recruit our students,
Oh, what
taking
way?
the pressure out. So we offer discovery days. We
Mm,
don't need. I have sat behind the desk for many years
mm,
looking at our 11 plus data,
mm,
and I know that we learn very little extra from 11 plus that we can find out from schools. So
mm.
why put the pupils through that? You know,
Yeah.
they're only 10 when they're coming to us for
Mhm,
their testing. So
mhm.
so we offer a discovery day, which is a fun experiential day where they come in and actually we find out a little bit more about them, and
Yeah.
we find out whether we think they will flourish
Mm,
in London Park schools.
mm,
What we're looking for is children who don't want to be a tick in a register,
mm.
don't want to be in a large school just shuffling down the corridors and
Yes.
knocking everybody with their bags, where they want to get to know everybody in their year group and
Mm,
also in the whole school. Because, for example, through vertical form tutoring, which, as you know, gives opportunity for students to actually get to know people in other year groups,
mm,
um,
mm,
we offer a
mm.
community in the hearts of the villages of London, as you would say.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
London has got great communities, and
Yeah.
we're really tapping into that.
Yeah. So how does that translate into the learning and the approach to learning then? Because this is about you're bringing out it's people who are maybe approaching learning from a slightly different perspective of what they haven't been trained and drilled in the 11 plus. How does that translate?
Well, there are 3 things that we think are important to offer in our education, that we think offer a reset in education in this area. Firstly, we offer an integrated approach to learning, which means we think across the subjects. We don't want our pupils to study in silos. The
Mm,
world doesn't need any more silos, and we
mm,
think about how we can join up our learning, which actually has a very good educational metacognitive benefit.
mm.
They don't have to reset every time they go into each subject. If
Yeah.
they're studying, for example, industrial revolution, where they're studying understanding the literature of the era, the history of the era, the religions of the era. It's all joined up. And likewise through our sciences as well. Our second area that we focus differently is on experiential learning. Yes, there is a place for knowledge, and yes, we do teach knowledge, but there's ways of learning which are much more interesting for the students, allow them to really embed their learning through experiencing it rather than being told knowledge or having to read and then regurgitate knowledge. It's experiences, whether it's in science, whether it's the huge amount of practicals we offer, whether it's on a tall ship that we take all our students out to in the summer to learn about marine conservation, or go up a mountain to learn about climate change. They get to experience it, and along the way they'll have a lot of fun, create loads of memories, and make loads of friends. And then the third way that we're different is that we are forward thinking. I am absolutely passionate about embracing future technology, because these are the skills and the knowledge that our children are going to need in their careers in 30, 40 years' time. As you know, there are many studies that are talking about, for example, the future of AI. And the new digital divide will be, digital divide will be those who can use AI and those who can't.
So how are you doing that then? I mean, what does that look like in practice in
it's
embracing AI?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how you actually think about embedding that in a curriculum. And we offer design thinking. So, for example, we know we're going to need those creative skills of the future. So we offer design technology and computing combined. But also you're teaching, behind in the background, we're teaching things like empathy in our design technology. So our students, for example, have gloves which mimic the feeling of having arthritis, or goggles that mimic being visually impaired. And then they're designing products, thinking about the product design that they would be developing for people who need help in those areas. So it's about thinking about how you can embed it, but it's not just the skills, it's also the transferable skills, the interpersonal skills that they will need to actually to flourish using this forward-thinking approach.
And that's what human beings are bringing to this equation as well. In terms of the AI, it's the use of AI, but it's sort of asking us to up our game, I guess, a little bit in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you and I remember when I said that emails were going to save our lives, and we're going to workload massively. And they are here, and they have their uses. But I think AI is going to be a bit like that as well. Everyone's thinking, how's it going to change our lives? Is it going to change our lives, or is it going to add a whole new load of different ways of working? So if we're thinking about that, we're thinking about how we can help our children. We're also thinking about how we can help our staff. So we run CPD sessions on using it to it's another tool to make sure that you're offering exceptional learning. So can you use it to help you with your moderation? So you moderate your work, and can you then do a check in AI? How can our students help use it as well? So we're loving embracing it, and we think it's we've always thought technology is a force for good, but you have to learn how to use it sensibly and safely.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I cannot let you go without talking a bit about your previous career and your rowing, and because I mean that I know you keep a bit quiet about this at times, but that must have affected your approach, because you did pretty well in your rowing.
Yes, many years ago, or a few years ago now, I coxed the British women's Olympicate in the Atlanta Olympics, which I'm not going to give away when that was, but most of you can work that out.
Just a few years ago. Just a few years.
But interestingly, there's not a day goes by where I don't think about the skills that I learned in rowing and how it helps me in running a school or running schools. It's the interpersonal skills of teamwork, resilience, communication that I honed on the river, often from doing it as wrong as well as doing it right. And those are the skills that I'm passionate that we embed in young people today, which is why I always have thought it important to offer a really broad range of co-curricular activities, because it's there as well as in the classroom that children learn these skills, learn how to work as a team, learn how to to lose a match or to be nervous before a play, and to embrace those nerves. So that's really important. What you may not know, Helen, is that when I was at school, I couldn't catch, but I was desperate to be in a sports team, absolutely desperate. And I now know that there is an Olympic sport for everybody. My Olympic sport was sitting on my bottom shouting at people, but that's why it's important to be able to offer that breadth of opportunity for everybody to have a go, whether you're going to just enjoy taking part or be the best you possibly can be. It's really important to have that breadth of opportunity.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's an inspiring start to the day. That's fantastic. So thank you so much, Suzie. Brilliant, and so nice to catch up with you again, really.
Thanks, Helen. Lovely to see you. Take care.